Okay, I think few people have started joining in. Can just start in about a minute or so. Okay, so we'll begin, and more people will keep on joining us as we go along. Thank you so much, first of all, for to all the attendees who have just joined us in this session. As you might already be aware that this is a session on data science and machine learning role. So, it's kind of a guidance session on how you can land your first role, what kind of skills the industry is looking for, what kind of strategies and you can employ to land up your first role and to enhance your profile, basically. So I'm quite glad to introduce Anoop Kumar, who is going to be the speaker for the session today. He's a data scientist. He's working with Naukri.com. He brings in more than 2 years of experience, and he has worked on concepts like regression problems into NLP, building recommendation systems, etc. And he has also in the past worked with companies like Jubilant, Fractal, ONGC. He's also a master's in mathematics, right? Or statistics,
In
master's
computer
in
science,
mathematics.
yeah.
In computer science, yeah, yeah. He's a master's in computer science from the Indian Institute of Science. So he will be taking you through the session. In case you guys have any questions related to the topic, please feel free to post in the Q&A box that you can see in the panel below. And yeah, without any further delay, Anu, please begin the session.
Yeah, thanks, Neharika. Hey, hi everyone. So as Niharika mentioned, I have done some work in NLP and recommendation systems. Currently, I'm working with Naukri.com and I'm handling job recommendations to the seekers. So when you open the Naukri app, you see the jobs. So though I'm working the recommendation team of Naukri. So let's start the session. So we will be discussing about the different data science and roles, different data science and related roles, which are related to data science, but like we would like to know the difference between all these kind of roles. What are the different skills which will be required, like from in your journey of preparation to get into data science? And then I will share some resources as well, right? So feel free to ask question or maybe put it into the chat so that I will try to answer those questions in the last. Yeah. Yeah. So like we all know that this demand of data scientists and data science roles have like grown continuously from the last few years. And because we are using data science in almost every field, be it healthcare, be it retail, be it fashion, like Mintra have like a large data science team, technology, e-commerce, Flipkart and all. So that basically three chunks of role which we commonly see when we see the jobs in data science. Like first is this data scientist, research scientist, decision scientist. Then another chunk is this data analyst, business analyst, and then we have this ML ops, machine learning engineer, and data engineer kind of roles. So mostly these two chunks, data scientist and data analyst, these two are commonly used. Major difference between these two kind of roles is like analyst will be who would be one who will examine the data, do some EDA on the data, and provide some insight on the data. For example, if you have a retail company or you are an e-commerce company and you want to the board or the CXOs want to know like in which cities which top three products are selling fast. So that analysis of the data will be done by data analyst or business analyst, right? Data scientist on the other hand, apart from doing what data analysts are doing, like whatever happened, the products are already sold, and then we are finding out what are the top three products for every city, right? Apart from doing this, he or she is also into prediction, like what could be the next, what could be the more products which we could sell along with the top three products. Or maybe like for example, if I give an example, I was working with Domino's earlier to Naukri, and there we built a model where we predict where to open the Domino's store, like based on the location where to open it so that we can like sell more pizzas, right? So like this prediction task that is done by data scientists. Data analysts or business analysts are mostly into whatever happened uh, in the past. They will provide insight on that, like what are the top products, maybe, right? Similar to data scientists, then we have research scientists, decision scientists. The skill sets slightly differ from each one another. Like for research scientists, you may have to, like, instead of putting things into production, you will be more into researching, like what different techniques we can use, or you may be like reading or even writing papers, right? So these two chunks are these. Now the third chunk comes the ML ops engineer, machine learning engineer. These guys are the ones who, once you have the algorithm in place, once you have like build the model, you have to deploy the model, and that deployment is will require like another set of skills, because you maybe for during a course or something, you make a model, and that you can test it. But when you want to deploy it on a in a company, that those require another kind of skills, and those will be done by these machine learning or ML ops engineer, so that that deployment occur at scale, like 10 million people like coming daily on Naukri, or 30 there are 30 lakhs supplies coming daily on Naukri, on the jobs which are posted on Naukri. So for that, we need to deploy those algorithms, those models at scale, and that will be done by these data engineer, ML ops engineer, or machine learning engineers, right? So these are the common roles. Now we will see what are the common skills basically which are required to get into the different kind of roles, right? So here, this is a kind of roadmap, and now suppose you are complete beginner. So this should be, ideally should be the flow in which you should learn the concept, so that you can grasp each concept in a better way. Like you can start in the mid also, you can start machine learning also, but ideally this should be the flow. Like you should have some mathematical skills, or you should know the some concepts about the things which are required in the algorithms of machine learning, right? Like linear, if we I talk about the first, the mathematics, is linear algebra, vector calculus, then density estimation. So not all that everything is required, but you should know the basics of like each and everything, like linear algebra, what is the rank of the matrix, and these things. So the rank of the matrix will not help you in once you get the job, once you start working in a company, that rank of the matrix will not help you anywhere. But to understand the algorithm, the maths behind the ML algorithm, you would have to know what's the rank of the matrix, or what is how the gradients are calculated. So to know that, you should know vector calculus kya hota hai, right? Similarly, probability distributions, what are the different probability distributions, what is normal distribution, what is central limit theorem, these things. So I'm not asking you to like go into depth of each and every topic, but you should have a like fair understanding, like why things, why a particular algorithm work. And to know how a particular algorithm, ML algorithm or data science algorithm work, you should know the maths and probability some bit. Then comes stats. Stats are very important, because in most of the data science interviews which you would be there, the first I think the first round would be on these things only: probability, statistics, and maths. So in Naukri also, first round which we take, it's mostly statistics and basic ML. So statistics, in statistics you should know like why we want to do sampling, what are the different sampling techniques, then what are the stochastic processes are there, what is correlation, why it's important, these things, right? Then comes the programming part. Like once you know these theoretical things, linear algebra, probability, and stats, then in programming, these days mostly Python is used. Apart from Python, I think SQL is the one which we use. in order to get the data into before doing any modeling on it. So SQL and Python, these two you should have you would have to like brush up or you have to learn. Are you was used before, but now I think very limited industry use R. So mostly it's Python, and for databases that's Mongo and SQL, right? Then comes the once you are like fine with these two things, theoretical things, probability, maths, and stats, and programming. Then you can start learning the different machine learning algorithms which are there. How the like the classification, regression, these kind of algorithms. So then you would like it would be easy to understand how the algorithm works, and once you understand that, then you can implement it also, right? So in machine learning, there are different kind of algorithm. Random forest is there for classification, for regression, for clustering, right? So in machine learning, you should know, apart from the algo, the other thing which you should know is the whole machine learning model cycle. Like you gather the data, you do some pre-processing to clean the data, then you do some analysis, data analysis on that. Based on that, you start making features. Once you start making features, then you do the modeling and then you get the results, right? So that's the whole cycle. So that these things come in machine learning. Once you excel the machine learning till this part, you can like start applying into jobs and you can get jobs, right? Till machine learning. Once you are done with ML, once you are done with programming and math, probability, stats, these five things, you can start applying to jobs and you can easily get data analyst or even data scientist jobs, right? These days people also ask for deep learning stuff, so that is one like you can say good to have skill to have deep learning concepts in mind. So in deep learning also there is like uh, variety of things, like images are there, then text NLP is there. So you can excel, like you can start reading about one field that would be more helpful. Like you can start with NLP and you can go into depth of NLP, like how text is processed. Text is different from numbers. So till machine learning, the machine learning algorithms can handle the numerical data. To handle text, you should have some more should know the NLP algorithms. So these things can come in deep learning. Feature engineering is part of machine learning only. Then NLP is part of deep learning. So how text, so there are different maybe data science questions regarding NLP, like text classification, how sentiment analysis, these things, right? So ML and deep learning like go hand in hand. Once you excel the ML, you can apply to jobs, but you should have some fair understanding of deep learning, right? Then we have data visualization tools. These things help when you, so once you have the model done, you want to present it also. You want to see to clearly see what the insights are there in the data. These data visualization tools helps, like Tableau or Power BI. Not very much required. Even matplotlib is used in Python, which can like plot graphs, so that would be like sufficient. Then comes the deployment part. So and for deployment, like some industry use the cloud platforms like AWS or Azure. So now this whole graph is for a full stack data scientist, from end to end, from gathering the data and from knowing the stats to deployment. Different companies have different requirements for the data scientist roles. So it's always necessary to read the job description. Then only you can understand what the company wants, and you can like prepare accordingly. For example, this deployment piece might not be important for some kind of role where the company only expect you to build the models. Then there will be a different team for deployment, right? Even in Naukri also we have a different team for ML engineering. So currently till now we are deploying it, but maybe in future that team will take over and they will help us in deployment, right? So this is the basic skill set which would be required to get into like data analyst or data science roles. Okay. So how to acquire these roles and like how to land to a job, basically, right? So first thing is education. By education I mean how to get how to study and what to what to study basically. So some skills are very important. I have categorized into three parts. Some skills are very important, some are important, and third one is good to have. In very important, I've put basic stats. You should know SQL is very important. SQL, Python, then how to handle the data. For that handling of data, how manipulating of the data, you need to know what is NumPy, what is Pandas, and then the basic ML algorithms, regression, classification, clustering, and visualization tool like Matplotlib. So these things are like very important. Without this, you can't get a job in data science, right? Then comes the important things, which if you study, you can stand apart. So in that comes the probability theory, then NLP and recommendation systems, how recommendation system works, what are the different techniques by which we can recommend, like content based recommendation, collaborative filtering based recommendation. These are two types of recommendation systems. So basically it's to know how these things work. And third one is good to have, like if you have some knowledge about cloud platforms or advanced deep learning, GANs, or how images are processed, or generative AI. So that will like make you stand alone in the stand apart in the crowd, because this very important thing is like known to is would be prepared by most of the folks, right? So how to get that, like get these skills? So first thing is certification. If you can do certification, there's like numerous sites from where you can do certification, like Coursera or Udemy is there. If possible, you can go for masters as well. And third is self-learning is always there. How I will share some resources as well. So first thing is how to acquire the skills which I mentioned. Second is, once you have acquired the skills, you should do some personal project. Either if you're doing some certification, they will help you in doing some projects, or masters. If you're in self-learning phase, then you can build personal projects. So you should have at least 3 4 good projects in your resume, which should touch the machine learning concept. Like either you should touch the like classification or clustering, some kind of machine learning algo you should touch. Data manipulation should be there, some visualization. So all these kind of thing you should do in that 3 4 project, right? Then you can participate into Kaggle competitions are there. Apart from that, then you should build the profile on Naukri and LinkedIn, and try to engage with the data science community. That will help you to like know what new things are coming in data science, because data science in every week if you are active on LinkedIn, you will see like every week some new algo in generative AI is coming. So you should I'm not asking you to like learn every concept, but you should have you should know what are different things are coming in data science. For that, you should like try to engage with the data science community on Reddit or LinkedIn. For and in resume, you should mention 3 4 projects, as I mentioned. Apart from in each project, you should mention like what's the problem statement you are trying to solve, what the ML algorithm you used, what is the metric you use. Metric is very important. They will ask like, you use this algorithm, what was the result? So what the metric you used, and what gains you get from using that algorithm, gains or loss, whatever. So these things should be part of the every project which you will mention on in your resume, right? Third thing is, yeah, be interview ready. So for interview, they will like most of the in most of the interviews which I have given, they mostly ask, explain any of the project which you want. So you should prepare at least 2 projects, preferably the latest ones, right? So, and end to end, you should prepare that, right, from how you gather the data or how you get the data, and to how you measure the performance of the whatever model you have built, right? So you should be ready with the question, why you choose this algorithm, why not that algorithm, why you choose this metric, why not that metric. So these, so that will you can answer that only when you create, when you have built those models by yourself. Like if you are copying from GitHub and all, you can't answer those questions like why you chose that algorithm or why you chose and didn't go for this algorithm, right? So you should prepare at least 2 algorithms, 2 projects, sorry, from end to end, right? Apart from that many people ignore the maths, like probability, stats, these things. But most of the companies, the first round, even in the later round, the interviewers ask the questions from linear algebra, from stats, from probability. So you should like be ready with those questions. Then for every kind of science problem, like the interviewers ask, you can you explain one of the clustering algorithm, or one of the classification algorithm. So you should prepare end to end that one kind of algorithm for every data science problem as well. Like if you're if you are applying to a job which asks which where they want you to build recommendations, so if they have written that in their JD, job description, so it would be beneficial to know this recommendation system and one kind of model which you can use for recommendation systems, right? So you prepare at least one algorithm, one core algorithm. And then fourth is you should read this the tech blogs and medium articles, and KD Nugget is also one site where you can get blogs. So those blogs will help you in basically in the third or fourth round, which is mostly regarding case studies. So they will give some situation, they will give some case study, and they will ask you how will you approach the data science problem. So when you study these case studies, when you study these medium articles, you will get to know like how people think, how they gather the data, how they prepare the data, and how they go on building the model, right? So data science is end to end. If I talk about data science, is mostly it's 20% modeling only. The rest of the 80% task is gathering of the data, cleaning of the data, and data engineering or feature engineering. Feature engineering, like how to use that data into, how to make that data into a feature, right? How to convert that into a feature, data into a feature, so that the model can understand them. So yeah, those things are important. uh, Last is the data science resources which I want to share. Like mostly they are courses. You can go if you are if you are like comfortable, you can go with the courses like Coursera or Udacity. Basically these courses also help you in uh, or courses or certification also help you in getting jobs. Like you can mention these things on your resume, so that they will help in uh, like getting you more shortlistings at least. Apart from that, free university courses are there. Like many people don't know about it. Like I have so basically I have learned from NLP from the CS224 and Stanford course. So these things are these courses are available freely on YouTube. CS229 is for ML, CS224 and Stanford course. So these are basically YouTube playlist, and now you can like learn step by step every different topics in ML or in NLP or probability theory. So you can search on YouTube, and you will get courses on almost everything. Courses from not from like courses from good universities, from MIT or from Stanford, even from NPTEL. If you know, you can learn some concepts from there also. So for those who want to join like NLP, want to learn about NLP, this CS2 to 4 and course is like really great course. You can go about that. And last also, this tech blogs and medium articles are like very really help you in getting to know the how the real life data science works. So most of the companies have their tech blogs or sites which where they have mentioned what various algorithms they are using, what various problems they are solving. So you should read about those. Yeah. I think Niharika, we can go about the questions now if they have any.
Okay, we haven't had any question from the audience so far. I would request if anyone has anything to ask related to the topic, you can just let us know. There is one question from Anupama. She said that why databases? Anupama, I would request you to just elaborate the question. I did not understand the context. Uh,
Yeah, I
it's
think he is asking about the skills in which here in skills I mentioned databases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perhaps, yes.
So I think databases are required because the most of our data is either in text, either in text form or either in numerical form. So if they are in textual form, they are mostly in MongoDB. If they are in numerical form, they are mostly in SQL. So you should know how to collect that data. And even before collecting, like even before putting getting all the data in your RAM, so that you can process it, you want to do some pre-processing in the SQL itself because it's fast. So you should know some basic SQL so that instead of taking all the data, you do some pre-processing in the SQL itself, so that when you load that data in your RAM for doing further processing, that will not crash your system. Even and same goes to MongoDB as well. So for that thing, this database is required, right?
Okay. Uh, there is one question in the Q&A box. Not really a question, but maybe just a review. Thanks for the informative talk. Will we get a recording, and is it possible to follow you on LinkedIn or any other platform? I'm happy to share my details if that suits you. So yes, first of all, you can watch the recording. I will be sharing the YouTube link of this particular webinar in the chat box soon. You can just go back to the webinar on that YouTube link anytime and watch it again. As far as LinkedIn is concerned, I would leave it to Anup if he wants to share his LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Apart from that, if you,
I can
yeah, yeah,
share
you
my
can,
LinkedIn in the chat, or even, or you, yeah, sure.
yeah, you can share your LinkedIn profile in the chat, and if anyone wants to connect, they can contact you
Yeah,
through
sure.
the LinkedIn profile. So before we close, since we don't have any more questions, but yes, thanks for the feedback. Um, I'm just launching a quick poll for the people who are attending. Just let us know whether the session was helpful and if you would recommend it to your
I
friends
think
and your peers.
one question was regarding like for the Hindi language, like I didn't.
Yeah, yes. Actually, what happens is mostly the majority of the audience prefers English because earlier in our sessions we have got comments from people if they turn to English or English that just switch back to English. That is why I did not for
Yeah,
the
sure.
for the majority say. So thank you for your inputs. I think there are some responses to the poll. We would appreciate if you can give us more responses in the poll.
So
And
if any of you like have further question, they can reach me out on LinkedIn. So
yeah,
that I'm
exactly.
very happy to help.
I've just posted the YouTube link as well in the chat, so you can pick it up from there
Yeah, sure,
as
sure.
well. Uh, ठीक है. Would you like to post your LinkedIn profile in here? You can
Yeah,
just
give
do
me
so in the
just
हाँ
give.
हाँ हाँ sure, not a problem. I've just ended the poll here. Uh, Thank you once again to all the people who are attending who have responded to our poll. Anup, so you have just posted your LinkedIn profile link, right? Okay, so you can connect with Anup on LinkedIn, and if you have any further questions, he might be able to help you out. So that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you to all the attendees for attending today, taking out their time. And but more than that, thank you, Anup, for coming on board, sharing your insights. I think it was a pretty informative session. Uh, Someone has okay. Kim is asking that can I check? I think it's there in the chat window. You can just pick it up from the chat window. Both the YouTube link and Anoop's LinkedIn is in the chat window, not in Q&A box. So yeah. So Anoop, thank you so much once again for taking out the time, coming on board and sharing your insights.
Thanks, Niharika. Thanks everyone. And you can reach me out. Like I'm happy to help. Yeah. I think they're
I
not getting the link.
no, I've just pasted it again. I think now you will be able to access the link.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you
Okay.
so much.